It has been a while since I have done a video. I've been away on holiday, had a holiday for a week, and I really tried to get a video out before I went away, but things just didn't work out. You'd be surprised how, just by having a week off, how much it can really sort of throw a spanner in your schedule. I told all my customers sort of 3 or 4 weeks ago that I was having a holiday. Most of them all come back, yeah, that's absolutely fine, you know, have a good time. Some of them panic. I mean, I'm only going away for a week, but some of them panic and be like, oh, they tried to book in like extra visits before I go, that sort of thing. And I think I sometimes sit there and wonder, what, you know, how mad can the garden go in 1 week, you know. But anyway, so the week up to my holiday was just manic. There was a couple of one-off jobs I had to do, and there was just the general sort of maintenance side of it as well. But so I never got a chance to put a video up before I went on holiday. So yeah, this is probably like the first video getting up for like nearly 4 weeks. So things have yeah, just having this week off can just throw a real spanner in the works. So the week up to the holiday was manic. Then you have the week off, which is lovely, and I'm one of those, I can just switch off. I'm not fussed about I don't think about work at all while I'm on holiday. It's just full on having fun with the kids, and that's all I think of on holiday. So now come home. This is my first day back. This is Monday morning, and we are into autumn now, September, and yeah, it really does feel like it this morning. It's wet. It's not temperature wise too bad, but yeah, everything's going to be soaking wet today. I've got the hater on today, so this video is going to be a mixture of, I'm just going to film random lawns throughout the week, random bits and pieces I'm going to film for you throughout this week, and yeah, just get a video up for you, and try and get motivated for this week, because at the minute the weather is not looking great, but I'm back at it, and we'll see what we can get done.
Now, I know I said in the intro to this video I was going to do just random lawns. I actually ended up filming most of me cutting this lawn, so I decided just to do the video on this lawn. This place is pretty interesting. It's a cottage garden, and there's a little bit more involved to it than normal. It's not just a case of come in, trim around all the edges. As you can see here, I'm trimming in the middle of the garden. Can't quite tell, but where I'm stood is I think it's like a septic tank underneath there, so it is a big sort of mound in the garden. You can't really tell from the angle I am here, but in a minute I do move the camera around a bit so you can sort of tell. So I do have to spend a little bit more time here trimming. I have to go around and just so it's nice and even. Sometimes the mower doesn't catch all the curves, so I do like to go around, trim all the uneven places. There's a few trees and lots of bits and pieces to go around in this garden as well, so there is a fair amount of trimming involved. And this tree I'm trimming around here is actually an apple tree, and it is now dropping all the apples, so I did spend probably 10 minutes extra here today blowing all the apples under the hedge. Thankfully, because it was all on slope, a few little blows with a blower and all the apples are rolling off down the hill quite nicely. So this is a fairly new property for me. I picked it up early spring, so just before the cutting season really kicked off. I got this job through a friend of mine who recommended me to the customer, and so far so good. It's really once a fortnight turn up, cut the grass. Apparently a few other gardeners had looked at the job, but because there's a fair amount of trimming involved and the grass, you know, the lawn itself isn't totally flat. A lot of the other gardeners weren't really interested, but to me it's not really that big a deal. I mean, I come in once a fortnight, absolutely no trouble at all. Probably does take me longer to trim than it does to actually mow the place, but once the trimming's all done and out of the way, it's really quite straightforward. The place is surrounded by hedges, as you can see, and we are under the understanding at the minute that once the grass has stopped and slowed right off, I will then just get cracking on some hedge work. So I do have a little bit of winter work here, which will be lovely. So I am using the Hater 41 Pro on this job, and it has been a real good job for it. Main thing is the very front garden. This place is up a few steps, and the only way to get it up there really is to lift it. You can't even really get a board to ramp it up, because it's just not enough room. So with the extra little handle this mower has on it, I can actually get underneath it and lift it straight onto the lawn. Only a small thing, I know, but it has helped me. You know, I don't have to get right underneath the mower and yank it up. I can just hold onto the handle, and it is no trouble at all. This is one of those lawns that every time I turn up, it's always put on a fair amount of growth, and it's normally always damp when I turn up. I've not had any problems with the Hater bagging in the damp. I must be honest, I've not used it to try and cut really long grass in the really wet, but for what I've needed it for, it's not been a problem to me. I'm about to show you now on this lawn. This is about as clogged as it gets. Every now and again you just have to sort of scrape it through like that, and that's all I really do on this job to keep the Hater bagging well. As I say, I think if you was to use it, you know, cutting a foot long grass really wet, it really would struggle, but then I suppose every mower would. So at some point over the next few videos I would like to have a chat with you about the Soltex exhibition that is coming up in November. Some of you may remember I went along last year. Me and my dad went, met up with a few people there, and I know there's been a few other channels as well that have mentioned it. So I'll not talk too much about it in this video, but I will probably do a standalone video about it coming up in the future. Just something to think about. I will tag in my old Soltex video that I did last year, just to people who don't know what it's about. It's basically somewhere you go to look at lots of different mowers, lots of new mowers that will be coming out in the next season, lots of big ride-on mowers that a lot of the times you don't get a chance to see in this country. So that'll be something to have a chat about in the future. And as I say, up here I'll tag the Soltex video that I did last year, just to give you a bit of a refresh. So this week, getting back into it after the holiday, I have noticed now lots of leaves starting to come down. You can't tell too much on this video. There's a small section under this tree where there's a few brown leaves. More and more though, as I'm going to work this week, more and more leaves coming down. So as you can imagine, videos coming up in the future, there will be, I would presume, lots of leaf clearing videos coming out. So yeah, it's just got to that time of year where things are starting to cool down a little bit, and yeah, leaves are coming down, and all of a sudden they'll just be piles and piles of leaves everywhere. I did cut this video a little bit short, guys. There's a little chat at the end I wanted to have with you, but thanks ever so much for watching. So apologies again for waiting so long to get a video out, but thanks for watching. Take care, be good, and I will see you very soon.
So yesterday was my first day back at it, and must be honest, yesterday afternoon when I finished work, man, I was tired. My legs were killing me. For some reason, man, I just felt really tired. I was only had a week off, but geez, man, my blooming legs were like, I just sat on the sofa in the evening and just sort of passed out. So I just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys. What do you guys do about holidays? What do you do? Do you bother going on holidays? I know some people. I've spoke to gardeners in the past. Now they just don't do it. They just don't bother going on holiday. I used to, before the kids and that came along, we used to be able to go anytime we wanted to. So that was obviously a lot different. We could go on holiday in sort of May or before the summer holidays and all that. My dad tends to go in September, October time, something like that. So some people I know, they don't want to miss out on the work. I think if I had it my way, I probably would go September, but if I was going in September, I wouldn't be going on holiday in this country. I'd be going abroad somewhere for a bit of sunshine. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what you guys get up to. Do you bother going on holiday? Do your customers mind you going on holiday? I always get funny. I always let my customers know plenty of advance, and I get a few customers sometimes, I'm pretty sure they're joking, but I'm not sure, but they'll look at me like, you can't have they say to me, you can't have an holiday, you're a gardener. And I say, yeah, I know. I think, what are you on about? Of course I need an holiday, I'm tired. And then they sort of say, well, who's going to look after the garden? I think, I'm only going for a week. I'm not going for like a month away. I always laugh, but I always sort of think deep down, are they serious? I sort of say to them, I've got on holiday in a couple of weeks' time. They're like, oh, and it's like, you had an holiday. People I work for, they've all had like, five holidays. Some people I work for, they're on holiday every sort of other week when I go along. But most of my customers I work for are really good. They'll just sort of, have a lovely time. I have had customers in the past that pay me while I'm on holiday. Well, that don't happen anymore, but I have had customers in the past that have paid me while I've been away, and that doesn't happen at all anymore. So yeah, let us know in the comments. Do your customers kick off when you go away? Do they mind? I always find the customers, the weekly customers, shouldn't be too much of a pain. It's the customers that miss out last week, they're on that fortnightly routine. They're the ones that now, I really would like to go to some of them this week, but this week's wet. It looks like it's going to be wet all week, most of it anyway. But let us know in the comments, guys. Do you go on holiday? Do your customers mind you going on holiday? At the end of the day, I don't care. I needed an holiday. I was exhausted.